Okay, so the last day we were doing what we were we finished off the backend. That part was left that was security and all, and like authentication, authorization covered everything. Next thing today, or the other thing was like to install the Node.js into our system so that we can use like CLI to start our front end. And we have seen that we can create the front end with through the terminal by selecting the desired options. Right. Over here, I just want to mention that if we are uh, new to uh, like new to Vue.js, in that case, please do not select ESLint because it might make it a bit difficult for you to quickly spot out the bug and fix it. Again, AI is here, but let's keep it simple and keep it as light as it could be.
Sir, what's the difference, disadvantages and advantages between CLI and CDN?
See, during CDN, what are you doing? Whatever features and whatever functionalities that you get through Vue.js will be coming down from the server, right? So in CDN, what are you doing? You just add or create some kind of a link to the server. From the server, like whenever you are using any feature, the feature for like whenever the feature is being executed at that time, a request is made to a server and the server provides you with the code, right? In CLI, what are you doing? You're having it everything within your own system wherever you are running your front end server. That is one benefit. Next benefit in terms of coding, it could be like few times there are some small bug. Those could like like those could be sometimes a bit annoying, and that's because of CDN. Right? Again, fixing it won't be a huge problem, but whenever you are running it through your CLI server, in that case, you will be getting prompt on the terminals, right? That yes, there's the error, and we'll just point it out. But it may or may not be the case for CDN. Even I have seen it previously whenever I was doing boot camps. At that time, I didn't used to like, clearly mention that use CLI or CDN. At that time, I faced like one of my mentee faced an bug, and it took us almost 3 or 4 hours. Not only me, not only her, but other three mentors, and even we have even included others. And the bug was that simple. We didn't even thought of checking that out. So again, if she wouldn't have used CDN, in that case, she would have used CLI. Whenever she was trying to start the server, it would fail. Right? So that could be a scenario.
Okay, sir.
You get more area to customize, and it's more within your control. So yeah, that was the thing. So what are we doing today is like we'll be finishing off backend. Like firstly, we'll start how the like I very briefly I told like how the pages are working and what's the scope for each part and all. I'll just repeat that. Next thing would be to create a page. How can we create a page, add a endpoint to it, right? So we'll be seeing that how it is coming up. Next thing would be connecting it to the backend APIs, right? Connecting the backend APIs to the page. Then we'll be seeing out how we can get the data and how to handle it. After that, we'll be like proceeding for login and register page. Next thing to that, we'll be seeing a page where we will be sending data, right? Like forms and stuff. Next thing and the last thing for the day would be creating a dashboard kind of a page where we'll be getting uh, a big chunk of data, and we'll see how we can make it work. Right? But again, whatever that we'll be doing may or may not be. So it would be the most easiest and nice way to proceed, right? But you will be getting the basics. So yeah, that is one thing. And lastly, covering those up, like be it a create form, be it edit form, right? We'll be seeing those stuff. Also, we'll be like, as I was saying, like we'll be building the login form, right? And we'll be handling that so that you can say how the token needs to be handled and how the token needs to be supplied. If you remember from the past 2 days, isn't? So we made some of the API, like made some of the APIs to be protected. Right? Now, how to interact with those APIs, how the token will be flowing, right? Every thoughts, maybe those things will be covered today. So today is day 4, and as I was doing till the other day, I will be copying everything down. But if you remember, in day 3, what did I do? I just segregated backend and frontend into 2 different directories. So I'm just creating 2 different directories over here too. So front and backend. Now from day 3, what will I do is like I copy the files that is needed and paste it. Apart from that, there is a route and module. So why am I doing it in this way? That is because of the virtual environment and the PyCast file. It might, like if I copy paste it, in that case, it might result into pointing to a different location. And this
Sir,
copy,
can't we delete it after copy pasting if we do it?
yeah, that could be deleted, but what if some chunk is left out? Just for the sake of simplicity and quick, like I do not have to debug anything. I just need to run and it's ready to work. So that is why I am doing this. Okay, so in here, what I have done is copy pasted backend. If you remember what were we doing, it's like first thing I have to locate my terminal to the correct location, right? Next thing to create the virtual environment. If you remember, the command was Python 3 minus m venv and dot venv or whatever virtual environment name that you want to keep. I just
Sir,
run it.
that name need not start with dot, no? Or is it
Yeah,
compulsory?
that's fine. No, that's not needed. If you are adding a dot, in that case, it's an hidden folder. Nothing else. Hidden folder, as in like, yeah, it can be seen, but in general, it won't come up. That is why I use dot and proceed without using a dot.
Okay, sir.
Next thing is to create a like activate the virtual environment on this terminal, and finally, I will use the requirements.txt to repopulate the virtual environment. Let it work, and side by side I will open up one more terminal. In here I will locate the terminal to the front end directory for day 4. Right? In here what I want to do is like if you see, as I was saying the other day, there is like again it shouldn't be uh like, whatever that I'm saying is not correct if you ask me, but to get the idea and get the hang of it, similar to virtual environment, we have node modules, right? In case of front end. So what node modules carries or keep it, right? That is the packages, right? Node packages or JS packages. right? So we have to create that. If you see the virtual environment that I was building for backend is ready to go, and I just give it a try. But before I give it a try, if you remember, or if you see, like if you could spot it out, don't have the instance directory in here, right? So in that case, I won't be having the database file, the tables, right? I'll just rerun the Python DB init file, and you see the instance directory was created. And if you remember from the DB init file, what was I doing? I was just creating an admin user and assigning like adding all the rules and finally assigning a role to the user. Right? Now this is good to go. I'll just keep it running in this terminal, right? And let's forget about backend and proceed to front. In here, what you have to do, if you see, I don't have node modules, right? Even it would be the case where whenever you are going for Vivas, at that time you will be really pulling the submitted zip file down, and in that submitted zip file, you won't be having node modules, right? Not even the virtual environment. Even it's better if you remove the bytecast. So, anyways, so you won't be having node modules. So how can you create it? It's very simple. Not like the Python virtual environment where we have to run 2 or 3 commands. In here, what you have to do is just write npm install, and it will do the job for you. Now, how that is working? That is because of this package.json. In here, you have all the dependencies, and again, whenever you add a newer dependency, for example, I have npm, like I have done npm install. You can see node modules was created. Now, for example, if I install a package, npm install Axios, right? Change. If you see, it got installed, right? And side by side, it was again auto added to the dependencies. So uh, from here, whenever you recreate the node modules, Axios will also be added. Now, if you
Sir,
remember
when
the
we did the first
yeah,
time npm install, Axios was not there.
no, so it had the base libraries. Like if you remember from the terminal, we were we got an option to select what feature do you want to keep, right?
Yes.
So over there, I just added that uh, routing, what was the option name? I forgot basically. But anyways, so I selected that. That is why I got added. Like the view router got added. That is on line number 18, right? If you didn't select that, in that case, only the dependency would be view. Right? Now, whenever you are proceeding forward, you will be adding more packages, right, as per your need. So during that time, what we have to do is npm install and the package name. Now here's one more again, I won't say benefit, but just adding to what I was saying for the CDN purposes over there. That's I told it for Vue.js only. Right now, think of a scenario you are using some package. Now most packages provide you the CDN pathway, right? Now you use it. For example, for Axios only, you are using CDN to pull down the functionalities of Axios. Now, because of some issues, the server is not running for Axios. In that case, the view and other stuff are working, right? But your app would fail because one of the packages is failing. Right? But again, if you pull it down and if you run it through your own local system, in that case, you are that much sure if my front end is working, in that case, this functionalities will be there because I already have it in my local system. Right? Now this is package suggestion, and I have we have the node module. Next thing is how to run the server. If you remember, the command was npm run dev, right? Uh, okay, so it's working fine. Next thing, what I have to do, I just need to go to this address again. Be attentive and check this out. Both the servers have different addresses. Right? The backend server is like different port IDs, but the address is same because it's running from my local system, right? And it is basically the local host. Right? It's same for the front end too, but it is running on port ID 5173. If I give it a try from here, if I try to go to try to head to localhost 8080, in that case you will be seeing that URL not the requested URL was not found on the server. That is because of the front end, right? Sorry, back end. If I give it with API, then you will be seeing that we're going to look back at. Now, if I go to 5173, so this is the front end, right? So two different port IDs and two different servers. Why I like just double quote it whenever I say that two different servers. I'll be coming to this within some time, but we need this. So, like I will be coming back to what I said. Now here's the thing: if you are seeing something in here, right? How is that getting created? How the flow is happening? Again, the other day I very quickly said that, but if I want to repeat myself, in that case, this is index.html, right? So this file is being this HTML file is being mounted on the browser. So browser doesn't see any other view pages and all, but it sees a single HTML page. Okay, but again, so whatever I'm saying, it may or may not be correct, but I'm just saying it so that I can give you a quick view of how the thing is working, right? So this index.html is getting mounted on the browser, right? Next thing, how are you seeing the pages? That is because of Vue.js. Okay. We create components, or you can think of it as a page, right? As because if you see, or if you spot the index.html file, in that case, we do not have anything. Even I showed you this one. If I try to run it or render it through a server, the HTML file, in that case, it was totally blank. I added an h1 tag just to see that yes, the correct page is getting loaded to the server browser. Now the thing is that in here, whenever you go to home, you're seeing this stuff. Whenever you're going to about page, again the URL is getting changed. You're seeing something else. So you can say that the pages are created through view, right? And it's getting mounted on top of the index.html. So we are seeing a final full page. Now, if you remember from my the other two sessions, specifically in day two, where what were we doing? We're like, hmm, I had a model file, right, where I have the database models. I broke it up into multiple chunks or smaller components. Right? Why do I do it? That is because of much more better way to proceed, cleaner way to proceed, and it's easier to debug. I won't say it's the totally same, but it is somewhat same, right? So what am I going to say is like you have different setup pages. Where are the pages located? Within the SRC directory. That is in here. You will see I've used it within the SRC directory. You can say that oh, the pages won't be the correct thing to say, but views. Okay. A total view. In here I have two files. About and home base. Now, what you can do, for example, with a similar idea, you have a huge file as in huge number of uh, huge number of lines of code. Now, what would you do? You just break it up into chunks and save it as in components, right? Pieces. The same idea is also shown over here in the home page. It's not huge, but it is somewhat just to show you that yes, that is possible, right? Now here's the thing: as you are much familiar with the Python language and uh, how the Flash server is working with that framework, so you can give it a try. Firstly, in your backend code, Next thing, whenever you are going for your front end, try it out. Try to break a page into component and use it. If not, then also it's fine. Create the views and proceed, right? Because you might be doing it for the first time. That's the thing. Next thing is why to break it into components. Another reason could be, for example, in your front end view. Okay, what would be a good example? Mm, think of a website, right? What do you do is you have made your profile. And next thing, whenever you are done registering yourself onto the website, you are just redirected to the dashboard. Okay, in your dashboard, on the top, like just imagine with me, on the top right corner, but just below the navigation bar, you are seeing a small segment where your profile picture with your name is being shown, right? Now here's the thing. Consider that to be an uh, object, right? The same object is again shown in your profile page. Okay, in your dashboard, it's been shown with other information, but the same uh, component or same portion is been shown in your profile page. Now, what do you do? Will you be writing the same thing again? Just for the sake of explaining, I'm considering like both the pages is having a same exact same component. Now, just to uh, make it more robust and as I'm saying, it's similar. So let's code it for once only and pull it down to two different pages. In that case, what you expect is you just create a component. That component, like in that specific component file, the code will be staying or remaining is just do that much. Yes, you have your picture, and below that you'll be having your name, right? Now this component is being pulled to two different pages, and that's being rendered on. So in that way, what two benefits are, or two or multiple benefits are? Firstly, you do not have to code the same thing. Secondly, as it is exact similar, so, by any chance, if you add something to your home, like to your dashboard, and it gets changed, for example, your full name is not shown, only the first name is shown. But as we are expecting it to be totally same in your dashboard and your profile page, in that case, you have to write the exact same thing. But if you like if you make it as a component, you just pulling it down to two different pages. So whatever change that I make to the component is being applied to both the pages. Right? This could be one more benefit again. So it's as you are doing it for the first time or maybe doing it for the first time, so I won't be saying that yes, make those components and all, but try to do it if it's possible, and if it is like if you could make it happen, in that case only proceed, else just make the simple views and all. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, man.
I had this question. This components you're saying so repetitive elements of a page are basically you can like put it into components, right? So, like say if we have like a nav bar or like a footer or a header which is getting repeated in all the pages, so that we can keep it as a component, right? Like that is what is the idea, right? Okay.
Yes, man. That is one thing. And another thing could be, for example, you have a huge page. Right? For example, if you think of an uh, good dashboard page, that page could result you to have it around something around 2000 or 3000 lines of code. Right? Again, I'm saying one of the simplest dashboard. In that case, do you want all 3000 lines to be in a single file. No, right? What will you do? You just want to break it up into chunks, the same that I was doing for models. So it will be much more easier for us to handle and debug. That could be one more benefit. Okay. Hmm. So in here, what I said was similar to our app.py. It was the base file for our front end, for our backend, right? It was having the like it was the file where we were like having the code to create a Flash server, right? Same thing is in here too. If you see on line number 3, it says from the view package import create tab method, right? Now in here you just need to be a bit careful. The import statements are a bit different. Over in Python, it's like from some package import some method, right? In here, it's the other way around. Import some method from some package. This way, it's not only for package, but from file, but from folder, everything. Right? Now, on the
Sir,
fourth
here
line,
package is assets or which one, sir? Package in first
package
line.
is like from Python point of view, it's like the libraries.
Yes, sir. Here, what is the package name which we are using?
We are
Assets
using view.
in line one. That
In line 1, it's from file. We're importing everything from that file.
okay, sir.
If you remember when I was doing the configuration, when I was shifting the configuration to a different file, I showed you that there are multiple ways to do. One that I did for the very first time was to have an empty file, and in that empty file, I just wrote a key and added a value to it, right? Now to make that happen, what did I do? I just imported the total file and added it to the configuration, and it worked, right? So what did I do? Whatever that you have in the file, you just call it as an object and you just pass it on to the, you just use it. The same way it's been done. So that is the CSS part. If I uncomment that, you you might see that the server getting restarted. Okay, it's not been shown. But anyways, I can just show you from, see, the styling came again. I just skipped that part. Can you see that the styling is gone? Right? So that is how the styling is being added on in here. On line 3, we are getting the create app. Right? It's similar to where we are like getting the Flask method from the Flask library to create it. Next thing on line 4, we are importing something, some component from the file that is app.v. On line 5, what we are doing, we are getting something named as router from a directory. Okay, we'll be coming to this. But we have seen everything. We have seen all three in our back, like for our backend, where we imported a method from a library. Next thing, we imported something from a file. And lastly, we have seen that we can import in this way, where we are importing a router from the router directory. If you remember from models, what did I do? I just added a init file and made the folder act as a single component, right? We're just importing how we were importing from a file. That's it. And on line 7, what am I doing? I'm just creating a variable named as app, and to that variable, I'm calling the create app method, right? And within that create app method, if you see correct, like if you see keenly, then you will find that we are passing the app that we got from app.view, right? Now, after that is done on line 9, what are we doing? We are adding some other components too, right? Mm, what could be an example from Python point of view? Something like you have a list, right? Now, you just called an empty or pre-filled list. Okay, let's consider pre-filled list where we have integers, right? Again, the type doesn't matter, but we have 3 digits. That is one, 2, and 3. Next thing, what you want, what am I saying is, you add 4 to it in the end. What you will do? You have a variable where you have uh, assigned the list. Next thing you just do, you just call the variable and you use the method dot append to add 4, right? In the same way, what we are doing on that variable, I'm saying use a router along with that router that you are getting from the router direction. And finally, on line 11, I'm saying the app that you just now created, the view app that you have created, you mount it somewhere. Okay. It's very simple, simple. Like, in here, view is more like you're just talking to the system, right? So app.mount. Now, app.mount is okay, but what's this as? Right? If I go back a bit, we are saying that the index.html is getting created and it's empty, right? Now, on top of it, something was added. That is the thing. That app.mount. App.mount is mounting on something as has app, right? If you see um, on line 12, we are having an div tag, right? Or div block or whatever that you want to say. It has the ID as app, right? So what am I saying? Just take my word for 30 seconds or so that everything from the view app, or you can say the total view app is getting mounted within this div tag. Okay, div tag or div portion. Right? Now, how is that so? If you open this up, go to element, and you see in here there's head and body. Head, we can expect that yes, a bit is being added through the index.html file, and some other portion or some other thing might be coming from the Vue.js view app, right? But within body, if you expand that, I have two comments, right? Hello to you guys and hello, hello, right? I have those two in line 10 and 11. Next thing, if you see, this is the same div block that I am having on line 12. After that, there's a script tag, right? And any other thing that is sqrt is because of one of my extension that I am using. Just forget about it. You may or may not be seeing that. But the next three are the inspect tool that is from Vue.js only. If you make the app to be production ready, or if you build the app, in that case, you won't be seeing this. And again, the last one is again because of my extension. But if you see properly, in that case, there's a div tag and there's a script tag, right? Those are because of this portion. Right? Now let's expand this div tag. In here, we do not have anything, but within this div tag, if you hover over it, then you will be seeing the total screen to be getting somewhat selected, like blue is right. So how is that? So what does it say? Like the total thing that you are seeing that is within that portion is coming from this specific tag, right? Now, if you see clear, like if you see, like, see the borders are white. So what does it signify? Not the total page is coming from that div tag, but a huge portion of the page is coming from. There are some other components, like as I was saying, index.html is getting mounted, and on top of index.html, the view app is getting mounted. So and view app is getting mounted within the div tag, right? So in here, if I give it a try, if I just rename it to my name, in that case, you'll see that it's failing. Okay, it's empty. So what is happening? Like Vue.js is trying to mount it on a div tag which is ID'd as an app, right? But there's no div tag, but there is one div tag that is ID'd as my name. Okay. That is how that app wallet thing has app wallet thing as well. If I revert it back, then it's all okay again. Hmm. Now let's go back to main.js. In here, let's see line number 7 a bit more. So create app again. That's a pre-supplied thing, a pre-supplied method. So I'm not worried about that. But the thing that I will be seeing is that app wala thing that is having as a capital A, right? And that's coming from app.view. So this is app.view, right? If I collapse the portions, so you'll be seeing three tags. One is the script tag, second one is the template tag, and third one is the style tag. Okay. From this three, these are the main three, right? From this three, I will be covering the script tag and the template tag, and I will be leaving the style tag for you guys. However you want to do it, I'm not going to touch that. Right. Next thing, within script, what we are doing, we are saying that we import two things. One is from the library, that is from the package that is now named as view router. Okay, and the next thing from a specific file, you just import something. I forgot about that right now. But if I expand template, then you'll be seeing there's a header and header, and so header ends over here, right? Yes, one second. And this is the view router. So template is having two things as of now. Okay. Yeah.
So this is like the home page, right? Like the
I won't say the home page, but it's a let's say terminal location where from here the other stuff are coming through, like are compiling through. Not the home
like
page. No.
if when we run the like on npm run whatever run dev or
Dev.
whatever, yeah,
Mm.
we do that. So this is the whatever the local host 5173 that comes out, and then when we open that 5173 local host, this is what is visible first, right?
No, no,
App dot
no,
view.
no. App.view stays along for whatever page that you go. If I stay in home, if I stay in about, every time app.view will be there.
Okay.
Mm.
So
So
which
it's
page
going
is index.html gets rendered, right? Or rather
no, no,
index.html.
see. Mm.
Which page
It's a
gets
bit.
rendered? I got a bit confused now. Which page got rendered?
Wait, I'll be coming to that in a moment. Let me just go through it, and I will just repeat by giving out or adding pointers to the pages, right?
Okay.
Yeah, just hold on for a bit. But what am I saying is this is the app.view, right? In here, I have some component. Okay. Next thing, I'm importing and all. We'll be coming to that in a moment. But if you see, there is a tag named as router and header. You can think header to be a static thing because again, header is coming from the HTML library, like HTML family. Like that's a predefined tag. But if you see the whole HTML documentation, you won't be find like you won't be able to find a tag that is named as router view. But there is a concept where you can create HTML tags, but those will be user defined. So you can think of it as an user defined tag. But if you look closely over here, so we are importing it from the view router package. So it's like, and similar to user defined thing, but the thing that is different is we are not defining it, but whatever logic and all that all are coming from the Vue.js view router package. Okay, and we are using it on line number 20. Now here's the thing. What will I do? Let me just comment all, like be it the header tag, be it the router view. Let's comment down everything. Now what you are seeing, everything is gone again. So what is happening, as ma'am was saying? So let me just add on to it. What were we doing? We have index.html mounted on our browser. Now main.js is like adding some other features on top of the index.html file. Now, we have discussed about two files from here. Consider this. The index.html page is some kind of a view, right? Some kind of a uh, yeah, the term that I find as a view. Okay, whatever the user is seeing. Main.js is a script kind of a file where we have some logic, right? So what main.js is saying? Main.js is saying that there is one more view kind of a file, that is app.view. Again, view and view is different. One view is, you just need to get the context. One view is VEIW, if I spell it correct, and the other one is VUE. Okay. So where was I? Is main.js is saying there is one more view kind of a thing that is named as app.view. Right. So as of now, there are three things. I just use my screen to point it out, like to draw. Mm, yeah. So it's like, firstly there is index.html, right? And whenever I draw a circle, it's like a code file. So this is index.html, this is main.js. Let me just write I to it. This is m min.js, and next thing is app.view and a, right? So what it is doing, index.html is getting populated with app.view because of main.js. Okay. This much we have seen. Another thing is that within app.view, I have two components, as I was saying, like whatever that is to be, like, I just forgot to mention, from a view file, whatever that you want to show to your end user will stay within this template tag. Whatever method and logic for that specific page will stay within the script tag, and whatever styling for that specific page, okay, not for the whole app, will stay in style tag. Okay. Now for app.view, it's a bit different. Okay. So whatever logic that you have in script tag may or may not be used by some other page that is in app.view. Same goes for styling. Okay. But forget about this. Let's keep our scope very simple. Let's uncomment this header tag. Okay, as we have seen that it was not nothing was coming on the page, right? But as of now, we are seeing something
So
from
can
here.
you
Yeah,
please erase whatever you've written? It's blocking.
that's blocking, but that's needed.
Okay.
Like I'm not showing anything on the page, no code, nothing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
As of now, something came up, right? I'm in the home page. Okay, you see it here. I'm in the home page. Oh, sorry, I'm about. Now I'm at home, but we don't see anything. Okay. Here's the thing. I just uncomment router view, go back, it appeared, right? And about. So what do you think? What is happening? Whenever I go to different pages, app.view is staying the same, right? The app.view static thing is this one. We are not changing it at all, right? The color may be changing for home and about, but other than that, it's like it's a reactive thing and forget about that. But other than that, whatever that we are seeing below it, right? Starting from here, is getting changed from one page to another. So what's happening as of now? Index.html got mounted and it stays back, right? Same way on top of index.html, app.view is getting mounted. Okay. And now what am I saying? Along with index.html, app.view also stays back. Okay. Now let's check this out. So app.view. From app.view, let's focus more on router view. Router view is a method that is coming from view router, right? What's the time? Okay, it's already 11. Uh, View router. And what am I saying? There is a directory named as router that is with like that is within my SRC directory, and within this router directory, I have every code that is needed for uh, yeah, every code that is needed for our view router component for the app. Okay. If I expand it, you'll be seeing this index.js, right? It can be of any name, not similar to init file as in Python. But we have seen this the other day. So in here, what we are doing, let's go back to the diagram that I have drawn. So in here, what we have seen that there is index.html, then there is app.view, and after that, there is something more. There is one more circle, and this is the router. Okay. And finally, we are, because of router, we are seeing some page. Okay, some component that was like again, app.view have something static in here, but the thing that was in here was changing now. How that is working, let's see. If you see, starting from here, we are doing some imports and all, that is fine. After that, we have declared a variable named as router. Same thing is exported. That is what was imported in main.js. If you see router, that's the variable that got imported because of this statement. Next thing, what are we doing within this variable? That is, we are calling the router method, and within that router method, I'm just applying a huge JSON object. After that, within that JSON object, there are two things. One is history, one key is history, and the second one is routes. And that route is basically a array, right? Within that array, I have smaller JSON objects. See, this is one, and this is the second one, right? So what are we doing? We are declaring endpoints. One is only slash, forward slash. The second one is forward slash with about. So two different endpoints. And for those two different endpoints, we are adding components. So it's like the pages or the views that we are seeing. If you see, it's about view, and this one is about view. So if you see line number 2, what are we doing? We are importing something from that specific file, that is view, that is within SRC direction, right? Same way, in here too, we are getting something from the about view file, right? And what we are doing, or what we are seeing is, or what we are declaring is, for that specific endpoint, whenever a user is on that endpoint, we just show this component on the page, right? One second. Okay, the component we are seeing. So as of now, what we are seeing, or what am I saying is, I have the index.html file. I just need to, I know it's mirroring up, but we just focus on this one, this post. So
Actually, sir, you can take a white sheet. That will be better.
I just need to open other things. I'm done with this. I will just remove it from the top view. Just focus on this one. So I have the index.html file that got mounted and that stays back on the browser. And on top of index.html, main.js is applying or putting up app.view on top of index.html, right? Now, what am I saying? On top of app.views, there are pages that's getting changed. Again, index.html stays back, app.view stays back, and on top of app.view, we are seeing different pages. And that is possible because of view router and the components that we have built. Okay, I'm done. Let's clear it up. Okay, so let's see. This router view, what this router view does is, because of how we have defined view router in here, it takes the component, whatever component there it is, it just adds it to router view, right? If you see this style of declaring a tag, it's like both the start tag and the end tag, right? Now, what will that carry? If I go back to my browser, then you see that the about page is very simple. This all are coming because of app.view, right? Next thing, if I go to about view, like I'm getting to know it from here, that is for the endpoint that is forward slash about, we are using the component that is in this specific location, that is within the src directory. There is a view directory, and within view directory I'm having a file about view.view, right? So 10 minutes back, what spelling did I say for view? VIW or VIW? Anyways, forget forget about that. If I go to about view, we'll be seeing two things. I don't have the script file, script tag, so that's a very simple file, right? Now, forget about style, but within this template tag, what am I saying is a very simple div. Like within that, I have a very simple div tag that is classed as about, and within that div tag, I am just having an h1 tag, and we are done. Now, here's the thing. Whatever that is currently selected are three lines of code, right? A div tag, and within that div tag, I have an h1 tag. So everything that is within the div tag is like again a container kind of a thing, right? What am I saying? This whole thing that is starting from line 1 till line 5 is a total template tag for about view. That see, the total thing is being replaced in here. Like if I show you app.view in here, so router view is being like it's equivalent to the template tag. So whatever that is within the template tag gets mounted in here starting from line 20. Like I will show you that. If I open up the source code and I'll just zoom in a bit. So this is my HTML. Okay. No, not from here. Don't be visible. Well, let's use the inspect tag. Yes, ma'am. I thought the components get rendered in router view tag. Yeah, that only I'm saying.
But these views करके about view dot view is in views folder, not in components folder. It has to be in components folder, right?
No. Like it's totally up to you. Like we do not have to specify where, what location. Like you can create by yourself. Like for example, I created a directory as page. But again, if you think it from a macro level, in that case, everything is a component. Okay, be it the views, be it the components as a whole. Everything is a component because a page. What is the page? The page is index.html, and on top of it, we are mounting app.view as an terminal location. And from app.view, we are seeing smaller components of pages. That is what.
No, I got the gist of it, but there is a component folder also. There is a view VIEWs folder also. So I was just confused.
Yes.
Like, what is the difference between the two?
So in here, what we are saying is whatever larger view that we have is within this view tag, VIEW. And if you want to break the views into smaller components, then you keep it in components.
Okay, got it, sir. Basically,
There.
VIEW is basically equivalent to an HTML, basically, and component is like part of that HTML page, right? That's what
Right.
got it.
Okay. So what I was saying? In here. So if I किधर गया mouse? Okay. So in here, this is the div tag from index.html, right? And here's the header tag, right? And again, it's an static thing from app.view. But the other thing was router view, right? And now if you see this div tag, do you see a class that is having the the div tag is classed as an as about where do it is come where it is coming from? If you see, this is router view. If I go back to about view, within the template tag, I have this div tag. So what is happening? the router view tag is replaced with this template tag. So whatever that we have, like again, so router view tag is empty tag, right? And whatever that is getting populated is coming from the template tag. Whatever within the template tag is being populated to the router view tag. Okay. So if you see, there's the div tag, and if I expand it, there's a h1 tag. As thing, for example, if I remove the div tag, that is also possible, right? Like, just for the sake of clearing, if you have any doubt, I have to use div tag. That is possible, right? So uh, after the header tag, the router view is again getting replaced by the template tag and whatever that I have in the template tag. Now this is not a good way to do. So that's why we keep it in a div tag so that we can segregate what portion is coming from which location, right? So that's about view. If you have, if you just got it till here, then I will proceed to the next thing, and after that we will be proceeding for creating a page. Did you get what I said? A quick response or a thumbs up will be great.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Considering the same for all. Achha. Let's go to home view. The same logic applies over here. In here, I don't have any style tag, but a script tag, and then there is a template tag. Now, within this, let's go back to the page, inspect page, and if you just change the address to index location, right? So in here, there's body, like again, that's a index of the HTML page, and there's the div tag. If you open that up again, we are seeing the header tag that is static to app.view. And now the thing is main tag, right? So what's this main tag? Again, the same logic applies. So what that is within the template tag that's being populated to the router view tag. So in here, I'm having a main tag, but within that main tag, I have an user defined tag that is on line 7 that says the welcome. Forget about that. But we can verify from here the same logic is being applied the same way how it was for about view. Okay. The same thing is being done for home view. Now the thing is that if I expand my main tag, in that case you will be seeing multiple other divs. Where is that coming from? That is coming from because of this user defined tag. Now if you spot it out on line 2, we are specifically importing the same thing from our different file. That is from components directory. I have a file named as the welcome.view. Okay. If I expand it, you'll be seeing that the welcome.view. Now in here, there is a script tag that is fine. I just close it down. There is a template tag. Okay. If I expand template tag, you'll be seeing this how it is being done. Okay. So as in a item wise manner, every other thing is being added. Okay. Again, it's just for the sake of keeping it in a more structured way, but forget about that. Let's keep it simple, and I have changed it. Anyways, if you didn't get that, so what am I saying? I'll just showcase this again by myself with a simpler code. But what am I saying? Whatever code that or whatever thing that is to be shown within the home view, from the home view is being added through this welcome tag, the welcome tag. So what I will do, we just have pulled it out from this side and made a component for it. Okay. We could have reused it again in about view. For example, if I just so how can I do it is I just copy this thing up, go back to about view, add it in here, and call it. Okay. Save it, give it a try, and just close down. And in about, it's there. Again, the styling may be crashing down, but it's okay. I go back to home, it's the same thing. Okay. This is how we can use or reuse the components. But anyways, so you have seen that yes, home view is having something that is coming from the welcome file. That's a component that is being called in, that's being used. Right? Now here's the thing: within the welcome file, if you forget about the template, so you guys just go through it. If you could handle it, then it's fine. Else, anyways, I will be coding by myself as a simpler code. Okay. In here, if you see, what are we doing? There are some more imports, right? There's an welcome item thing that is coming from welcome item view. Then there are some icons and stuff. Okay. We are importing everything. Right? So what is happening? Even the component is broken down into smaller components.
Hello, so you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Mm. So as I was saying, a component for the home page is again broken down into smaller component. Okay, into multiple things like for icons. Then there is welcome item. Like if I go to welcome item, we'll be seeing there's again template tag. Then there's style tag and all. So what's this? This is basically how these things are being designed, okay, from here. That is what I see. Again, I'm also very naive regarding CSS and styling. So that is a welcome thing. And there is one more thing, that is hello world, right? Hello world is again a component. If you see, it's hello world wala thing is not for home view, but home view is having component in as the welcome, and the welcome is having something as welcome item, right? But if you go back to app.view, if you see in here closely within the header tag, I have an image, that's okay. Then there is a nav bar, that's okay. Again, very nice nav bar, right? But if you see in here, that is on line 11, what are we doing? We are using the same thing, that is component. What did we do? If you see in here, you are seeing this much portion, right? And as I was saying, whatever that is selected right now is static to app.view. That stays back, right? If I go to about, if I go to home, this component stays back. It doesn't get changed. Right? Now, how is that so? See, within the header tag, what all things do you have? There's an image, that's fine. Then there is the nav bar, there's nav bar, it's fine. But do you see you did it and you have successfully created a project with something and something in here? Any place? No. But what do you see is you did it. But do you see it directly? No. So what is happening? You're passing a what it is said a parameter to whenever this hello world tag is being rendered. Okay, and where the hello world tag is coming from, that is from line 3. Okay, now again we have made a component for app.view 2. Now if I go to hello world.view file, as I was saying, there is style, there is script and all, and this is the template. What do we have? If you see, the div classes as greetings. Next, the h1 classes as green, right, in here. And within that h1 tag, I don't see anything. But if you see, you are familiar with this style. That is, you have used it in Jinja. right? From Ginger, the same thing. And after that, there is a H3 tag that says you have successfully created a project with something and something. That is this specific line. Now, this is totally static. Again, we have broken down into a component. And next thing is this line is static from the component. But this is a bit different. It is kind of static and kind of not. How is that so? See, this is coming from the line that I have selected. You did it is again static, kind of static. That is this H1 tag. But what do you see within this? Do you see that okay? It's it says you did it. But if you remember from app.view, whenever we were rendering out the hello world tag, it was passing a parameter as message to it, and it is a string array. Now we can see this is that it says like the message contains a string that is you did it, right? If I go back to hello world.view and if I expand the script tag, in here you will find so there is something as defined prop and all. Okay. So defined prop, one page can communicate with other page, one page could communicate with the component, right? In here we have defined that it is of a stripe type string and it is required. So whenever the app.view is trying to render out the component hello world, at that time we have to pass the parameter and the message parameter with it. Else it won't work. Right? This is one more use case. And with this, I say we have seen and we have clearly done with how a page is getting rendered out. Questions?
So basically, you're saying that app.view is like the main, like the master kind of thing, and then from
Yeah,
there
master
we
can.
go to, and then VIEW are this individual pages, and these
Uh,
individual pages are further broken down into components, and these components are further broken down into component icons. Is it?
yeah, you can say that. But again, whenever you are doing this for yourself too, I won't say you start with that. But create simple pages and simple views. Whenever you are familiar with how the views are working, then you can think of breaking down into components. And after you are comfortable with components, then only you break it into child components, not before that. Again, there might be situations where you will be needing to use props. In that case, you use it. Like not for components, but from whenever one page is going to second page, like getting redirected and all. During that time, it might be the case where you be needing the data to be supplied. So you can use prop. There are multiple other ways to do, but again, it's an easier, simpler way. So let's proceed to this. Let's take a quick break for 3 minutes. We are joining back by 11:20. Okay, you guys back? Okay, so let's see how we can build a page by ourselves, right? So how it is start is within the front end directory, let's go to the SS directory, and within SS directory, we'll create a view in the views file. For example, let's name it test dot vue. It should be obviously vue. Again, it depends on how you have made the project structure. If you have TypeScript and all, it might be different. If it is, if you haven't used to, like if you are using Vue like CLI pathway, but if you have made it all by yourself, not use this kind of a tool, in that case, it might be different. Okay, even it's .js for CDN, right? It depends. Now for in here, we are using .vue, right? So test.vue. So what I was saying is I have templates, sorry, template as a tag of transitioning into template. Okay. So this is a very simple template. Test view, some styling is there, but forget about it. There is a script tag that's empty as of now. Then there is a template tag. Within that template tag, I have a div that is classed as test view that shows h1 tag that is having test view, and there's a paragraph tag that says this is a test view component. Okay. Now, how can I render it? Firstly, I have to declare a route for it. Okay. How that is done within a curly bracket, right? path. Okay. Then it's the test. Right. Simple, nothing. Sweet and simple. Test and the component that is to be added. Okay. There is something more about name and all. I'll be coming to that in a moment. But as of now, I'm not adding a name. Right. But there is one more thing that I forgot to mention. That was on line 2. I have imported home, like we have imported home view on line 18 and used it on line 10. And on line 18, oh, the same thing is being done, but just that there are two type of imports. Okay. So in here in line 18, what we are saying, we have defined a method, and I forgot the name of the method, but it's being called and it's being used and it's done. I forgot the thing, but it was
Immediately invoked something. That thing.
something like that. Yeah.
Immediately invoke function or something. IIFE.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
Array
yeah, yeah.
function, maybe.
Sorry,
Array
sorry,
function.
sorry. Array
Array
function.
function.
Ah, that could be. See, this is how the mentees will be teaching the mentor. Nice, great. So on line 22, what I can do, I can use anything. It's basically it's just importing everything and using it. Now, here's the thing. See, so whenever we were okay, acha, let's do it. Now tell me, will this work? If I go to test page, will we be seeing any view?
You have to import test, right? Not चलो test करते हैं.
चलो टेस्ट करते हैं.
Oh, okay.
So what just happened was, it is again, it works in here. It won't work for Python. That is, what am I saying? Is if I go back to the index file within the
So you're
router directory.
saying that you don't have to rename it as चलो test करते हैं in the.
Yes, yes. If you rename it, if you name it, or if you skip the naming part, still, what am I saying? You just call anything and you just import it within that. So it what is happening? Everything that is within that file is you imported into that chalo test karte hain, and we have used it as a program. Yeah. Now here's the thing. What if, like, again, this could be done, and but if you want, you can do something like this. Just remove setup from here. In here, we just do export default and we just name it. Okay, test view. Still, this would work. Chalo test karte hai, still would work. If I refresh the page, see, it's working. So instead of that, we can do something more, that this comment this down and test that view. This could work, right? Even this could work, the component, and here that changes to test view. Right? Save it, and now the import statements are taking. Let's see if this will work or not. That won't work. Yes, so, nope, not working. So, what will I do? I just command this take down in here. Import test view. Save it. Give it a try. It is working. So it's up to you how you want to do it. There is one more thing. See, what am I saying? The router direct, like where am I? The current location is within index.js, right? So we have to go out of the router directory, right? Then the src directory. Next, from there, we'll be finding what? A views directory, and within that, the specific file is located. Okay. Now I can change this. So that's an alias. Just for the sake of completion, I'm showing that if you select or if you write add the rate, that also signifies that it's a src directory. Okay. If you add a forward slash, then you will be seeing all the components that we have within the src directory. So this is views, again a forward slash, and this is this. This also works. If I save this and if I give it a refresh, and still it is working. This is how it will be created. Now, next thing is how can we make it as a component? I just go to about test view, right? Now what I say, let's remove this h1 wala part. Now we move to where within components I create a file, name it as okay. In this file I have the template tag. In here, let me have a div tag that is classed as component for test view. In here, I just add the h1 tag. Now, next thing we can have this and all, but save it, and we are giving a name for the file, nothing else. A name for the component, not the file, the component. In here, what do you have to do within the script tag? Just import test view from this location. Okay. Next thing, how to declare it? Like again, if you see the other two files, they didn't have to specifically mention that it is a component, but we have to do it. That is because how we have set up the script tag. If you look closely, the other script tags would be having setup added to it as a parameter. Now I have removed it and use export default. Okay, so this is how we have to define it as a component. In here, what we have to do, we just start off with a like leftward angular bracket, use the same name that was used in here. Right. Now we can call it into a single tag, which is start and tag both. Else you can do it this way too. Okay. Save this, go back and refresh, and it's the same. Right. Now let's do something more. The same thing we are seeing, like what we have seen, the same thing we are doing over here too. What's the time? 32. Okay, manageable. The message that we are seeing, let's change it. How can we change it? Is we'll be going in here and okay. How that would work is in here, I just define a prop and I will specify that the prop is required. What's the name of the parameter or the prop is this message that was passed to us. That should be a string and that should be required whenever we are doing it. Like as of now, it's not been done, right? If I refresh it, you can see that it's not been shown. For example, if I add this, still it won't. Okay, it's getting what's required is set to true. It shouldn't be. Okay, anyways. So we have to pass this to see it on our screen. So how can I do it? I just go to test our view. In here, I will oh, I do not have to define it. We have to already defined it in here that there is a prop. What I have to do, I have to copy this, go back to test view in here, pass it like this. Hello from test view. Save it, refresh it, and it came again. Did you get it? How it is working? Prop and component.
Can you just show that once again? I didn't get it where you inserted it and how did it. Like,
Okay.
I know that how it works. It works from the
The
parent to the child.
component
Huh?
worked, right? The like you have seen how the component was working. So now what did I do? I replaced the h1 tag, whatever that was within the h1 tag. I replaced it with this success message that was passed to us with a Jinja type of an rendering. But again, it's not only for Jinja, but it's the same for Vue.js. This is rendering it out. In here, in the export default portion, what we have defined, same as name. Again, what is export default? Export default has a JSON object, right? Within that JSON object, one key is a name, another key is props. Okay. Now within that prop, I have defined one more key, that is message that was passed to us. Within that, I have set the type to be string and required to be true. That yes, we need that. And I have added that in here. So going back to the parent file, that is test.view, what are we doing? So whenever we are calling for the component, okay, component test view, in that tag, I'm adding a parameter, that is message that was passed to us, and giving it a value that is a string that says hello to test view.
Sir, if required is false, then can we give a default message?
I guess so. I don't know, but yes, that is possible. I can do a if block too, like where, like if you have used environment variables, in that case, what do we do? We keep it, like we also add a fail safe parameter passed to it. No? Like if I get that from the environment variable, then it's being used. Else there's a fallback there. Okay, so that's a component, and that's a prop. Okay, there is something more. I just want to cover it over here. Oh, before that, I have one more thing. So there's the nav bar, right? Home and about. Okay. So what are they doing? It is using router link, but whenever it's getting rendered out, it should be a anchor tag. See, because router view is not known by the HTML. Right? If I inspect it, you'll see that it's basically the anchor tag that is having the href to forward slash. That is again not href in here, but two, right? And the thing that is which one and all. Okay. Anyways, next thing, I'm just adding for my test page. Okay, save it. It's working fine now. It's working home about test. Great, great. Huge thumbs up to me. Right? But there is something more that I want. In router, if you see, there are three paths declared as of now, right? Home, about, and test. Right? The other two is having a name to it, home and about. And for the test path, I haven't added a name, but let me add a name. Test. Okay. Save this. Go back to app.view. In here, how can the name be used? See, a parameter in Vue.js, what you can do, for example, you are having an HTML tag, right? Now that tag will have multiple parameters, right? In here, I have the two thing. Now, as of now, how it is being defined is static. Again, static. I'm not talking about the router link, but the two part. Okay. Like, anyways, it will be taking you to slash test. Right? What if I go back to router and I just add changed it to something else? Will that work? If I click on test, it still is taking me to slash test. I click on about, it's still taking me to about home, but it is taking me to slash test. Now, how can I change it? Or in other words, how can I make it dynamic? What will I do? I just add a colon before the parameter. Okay. Now in here, what needs to be done is within the curly bracket. Basically, I'm passing in a JSON object. I will be having a key that is name, and I will add test to it. Now how it is working, let's see. I go back to home, it's taking me to the index location. I go back to about, it's taking me to slash about. Now if I go to test, it is taking me to slash test curly hai. Okay, and that is how we should make it dynamic. Okay, for all, not only for this one, every other one. Okay, so it would work. So what is happening, it would just go ahead and check from the where we have defined the endpoints from the router variable, and it would be importing the endpoints from there. So it is same as your MAD1 project where you used to use that URL for, right? You just pass the Python method, and whatever URL that is being added to that specific Python method is being fetched and added.
But what is the difference, like providing a URL directly and a URL for, not much change, right? It's the same thing only.
Same thing only, but what if it's again a fallback kind of a thing? For example, let me do something else.
Like, is this a good practice than, is
Yeah, that
this a
is a
better
good practice.
practice?
See,
Okay.
if I go back to my backend code where I define the register API, so what am I doing? I'm just getting the total JSON object within line number 9, right? This shouldn't be the correct place. Yes, I go to users maybe. In here, I'm getting the JSON object, right? Storing it into the data variable. Next thing, what am I doing? I'm saying that data dot get, and I'm providing the key name. What more that I could have done? I could have done like this data. I would add the key in here. That could be done. But this, as of now, how I have implemented it, this would work, right? This is the same thing. Data dot get name and data name. Okay? Same thing. But where it makes the difference, dot get feature will have one more thing. For example, you do not provide the age. In that case, it would fail. Else, I can do this. I can add a default, okay, none, or for example, 0. So what it would do, it would just go ahead and check if you have provided the edge or not. If not, it won't fail. Rather, it would pass on 0. It's something similar to that. It's an fallback check that yes, if somehow the endpoint is getting changed or something, still what I can do, instead of adding it as a static pass on, I'm just fetching it from the base location. Which one would be preferred? Say,
Getting it from the base location, I suppose.
yeah. Okay, that is it. Next thing. So this is the test page, right? And I am passing a string from the parent file. Think about this. I just reopen it. In here, right? So somehow, or if you think of it, hello from test view with an exclamatory mark is again static, right? What if, let's give the opportunity for the users to change it? How can I do it? Again, I'm not going to add any form and stuff. But what are we doing? If you remember from your Magma days, what you used to do? You might have used that URL, right? What was that? Path parameter, right? What was the name? path parameter, Yeah, I guess. So. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we can do the same thing in here too. How that could be done? See, I just go like again. This all are covered in the theory course. I'm not adding something new, but so in here, what you have to do, you have to add. Uh, what was it? Okay, like this. This was the endpoint, and I add a slash with a colon, and I add a name to it, a variable name. For example, okay, some variable. Save it. Now, what will it? How will it work? Is I just go to test view in here after component. Hmm, it's not prop. It was. What was it? Okay. Let's see. What am I doing? As of now, I'm directly passing the string. Right. I don't pass the string directly. Rather, what am I doing is using @route dot params. Acha, params. Yeah, this is the name I forgot. Params. I add the variable name. That was India wants to know. Right. If I replace this, now what will happen is if I save it, go back. In here, it is failing. That is because of the endpoint. That endpoint doesn't exist anymore. That is why it's failing. So what I say, and hit enter. As of now, it is not working because something broke.
Sir, I didn't understand what are we trying to achieve.
Wait, also I'm saying that I just want to showcase that path parameter. Nothing else. That how it could be done for this too, for front end too, if you want to do it. Okay, let's do it in this way. Key. Acha, 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 acha. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Nope. Will you not let me? Sir? Now it is all. Let's give it a try. Okay, battery not working. I'm sad. Okay, no worries. Let's see. Instead of passing it directly, what am I saying? Let's pass it. Okay, got it. Nope, don't work. No, don't work. Let's pass it a variable instead of passing it a passing it directly. For example, what I say is
So in that comp for test view, that is a component, right?
yeah,
In that you'll have to declare it or something, I think.
no. Next thing, I just create a variable. How can I do it? Is data method kind of a thing that returns सुनो इंडिया क्या बोलता है. Now This is set as null. Okay. Save it. ये मैं किधर आ गया? हाँ, okay. That is fine. Okay. Oh, the single. Nope, nope, nope. Will it not work? I really have forgotten much. Refresh. Uh, it's not waste any more time. Let's check. Where did I delete the blunder?
I guess you have included a path variable.
I have included the path variable.
Yes, in the variable you have included that thing like in the router link, but I guess you haven't passed anything.
Oh, अरे यार, अरे अच्छा. This is not the error that I was expecting. That is in app.view. In here, I forgot to add the file. I click on test now. It is taking me in here. Next thing, what would I do is in here, I do not have to do even the data developer, but I will do the data developer in a later stage. In here, what am I doing is the same way India wants to. Save it, refresh it. User input can be provided here. What if I take it to what was his name?
No good.
This is how you can do it. Okay. So we are implementing two things. We are even using prop and we are also using the route parameter. Okay. Let's see if the spaces work. Yeah, the spaces are also working. So do you know I'm very apolitical? I never follow politics.
So can you give a quick recap because I got lost in what was actually we are trying to do. We are in
Okay.
para. Yeah,
Till
I
till
understood that. Yeah, the
till
drought
props.
parameters. Yeah.
No, till props. Are you okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you get the how the props were working? Next thing, I will proceed from there. Else, I will just revisit the props too.
Quickly revisit the props, sir.
Okay. So what we were doing, we're like we know how to like. Did you get how we can make a component of a file?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, that is done. Now, what am I saying? I made a component that is component for test view file, right? Now in here, what did I do? I started with a h1 tag that was static. Okay. Now I thought let's change it a bit. Okay, change it a bit as in the component won't be having the data, won't be having the fixed data, but can change the view. But the thing is that the data that is to be added will be provided by the base file that is test.view. Okay. So from here we are passing on the string, right? Next thing is we so how we could do it is by using prop. So in the final location, we have to define the prop. Okay. So what I said, I made a variable that says message that was passed to us. Okay. And that will be used as a prop. So in here, what am I doing? So whatever variable or whatever data that the variable will carry, you just print it out whenever you are getting rendered. Okay. Add it to yourself whenever you are getting rendered. Right. Now the same thing is being supplied from here. So what are we doing? See, I already have the component declared, and with like how the component can be uh, drawn out, that is by calling that specific name for the component as a tag. Okay, and within that tag, I can pass multiple parameters, right? So I was passing the parameter that was message that was passed to us. Now again, it was static, but somehow it was static and it was coming from the base file. So it was a bit dynamic for the final or the child file. Right? Now the thing is that how did it get changed or what did I do? That was fine. It was coming from the base location. Till that portion, it's good. Like you can proceed with that. But I thought let's use the same like same location to cover one more concept. That was path parameter. Giving the given the path parameter, what we are doing, whatever that we write over here, that's being supplied. Okay. Now what am I saying? I not only pass the prop to the child, but let's not have what has to be passed as a prop to the child in the parent file. Rather, it will be coming from the route. Okay, from the URL. So whatever that I write on the URL will be firstly will be received by the parent file, and then it is being changed as a prop and it's being sent to the child file. Okay. Now how that can be achieved is by path parameter. Okay. So what am I doing? See, the thing that is this dot dollar route dot params dot variable name. So what is this? This variable name is being defined within the router. Okay, in here, see routes and in here we have defined the URL to be whatever URL it was previously statically. Then I added a slash, and after adding a slash, I added a colon. After that colon, I added a variable. I wrote something, and that became as a path variable or path parameter. Okay. Now, if I go back to app.view, you'll be seeing, or no, not app.view, but test.view. You'll be seeing this dot route dot params. What am I saying? From the route, you get the parameter. Which parameter? One can have multiple parameters. I want the specific parameter to be passed as a prop. Okay. Now, how that is being done? If you see, I added a colon just before the prop variable. Okay. What does it do? So whenever the page is getting rendered, it doesn't think that okay, this is a static thing, but it thinks that okay, something is added to this specific variable that says message that was passed to us, and it is dynamic. Okay, dynamic as in Vue.js dynamic. Okay.
Sir, this I understood, but the thing is that in our project, will we be, how will we be, we won't be using this, right? Like,
See,
uh,
it's up to you if you want to use it. I'm just covering it up.
okay.
For example, there could be a situation where, for example, if you are setting the vehicle park, so what you see whenever a user comes in, um, on his dashboard, he is seeing that okay, so there are 3 parking lots, and currently it's only shows that okay, so parking lot 1 is empty, parking lot 2 is full, and parking lot 3 is empty again. Now he wants to book the stop. What will he do? He'll just select click on the parking, and he gets redirected. Now, whenever the redirection is happening, there could be multiple ways to showcase that. So, which one has to be sold? For example, he's taken to where? He is taken to a booking page, right? Now, how the booking page will know that yes, he has selected parking lot. Either that could be passed as a prop, or that could be passed as a or else that could be passed as a what? Some other way, for example. From the backend only, there is something that is we have implemented. Or whenever you are clicking that method, the method is sending a request from the backend. And there are multiple ways. There are n numbers. There are five. This we will cover extra lectures in a theory course. I also just covered it. Just for the sake of simplicity, nothing else.
Okay, sir.
And even the same thing, like I also do not prefer to use route parameter much because it leaks backend information out to the
Yes, yes, that's
public.
true.
Yeah. Mm, let's see. So this is how I have built the test view. Now, for example, in this test view, let's add the backend. Start stitching the backend and front end together. Okay. For example, it says this is a test view component. Okay. Well, let's keep it simple. Let's not do much. Sometimes I forget that. Okay, so you guys might be seeing all this for the very first time, and digging much deeper in the first day wouldn't be a right thing. Anyways, so it says that this is an about page, right? And it's again static. For example, I just close everything down again. Within day 4, content src directory, and within src directory, I have views directory. Within that, this is the about view, right? This was an h1 tag that was prefit static. It's been shown. Now, what am I saying? If you check this out, I do have my backend server running, we just go to 8080 API slash about. Acha, okay. We haven't logged in, so it's like redirecting. I should have stopped the redirecting, but okay, anyways. We have to set it as ASP. Okay, we'll do that. Forget about what I'm discussing. I just like to discuss with myself. Uh, Within this general.py, I have that about, right? So what am I saying? I just comment this stuff. About can be seen by anyone. If he logs in, if the person doesn't log in, still you can see that. So how that works is I just go to यार तूने क्या बोला मैं तुम्हें बोला चेंज करने के लिए. Okay, so this is the JSON object that has been passed on, right? And it contains the message that this is an about page of the look back array. I just want to print it down in my about page in here instead of that. How can I do it? Let's see. How will you guys do it? चलो जल्दी करते हैं फिर लॉगिन भी खत्म करना है. Still more things are left. But offers. I think it will be done by today. Oh, it's only 12:05. Oh, it will be done. So nice. Guys,
So,
ma'am, other than you, I guess Abhishek and Ashish, some a few of the times they just respond back. And what about the other sleepy heads? Guys, wake up. It's noon. Let's let's see getting responses from you. Right. So two are me, three are there, and what about the other three? Who are there? There's I know you respond. What about the other three? Someone responded. Okay. What about Adiba and Tanya? Okay, Tanya is here.
Sorry, I'm just letting the call information and digest it all. That's it.
Okay, you are here. That's nice. Okay, so as everyone is here, again, it's a very small family of 6 people, seven, including me. So let's see. The seventh one knows how to do it. What am I saying? Whatever that is being printed out in here, the message that was printed out, I want to print it into the page. The seventh guy knows. The seventh guy is asking the first six guys. You guys discuss among yourself or whatever that you want to do, but I'm giving you 2 minutes,
so can you
two and
please
a half
repeat it
minutes.
one more time? Sorry, the question.
I just I just want to replace the static message that was from the front end side with the message that was coming from the back end. How can I do it?
Redirection, using redirection.
So, but which backend message that you're talking about? I didn't get you.
Backend message is in whenever I do API slash about, I get a JSON object. That JSON object is having that message. Can I see it on this page, on the front end page?
We will fetch that message.
तुम्हें बोलने बोला था मैं.
Okay.
What about the other guys? He told somewhat. How can we fetch the message? Like how? Like not literally how, but just give me a brief idea. Like you kind of thing.
So we give the same URL which is there in the backend, either in Axios or in Fetch, and then we in the script tag of.
Next. over here, what am I? आपको मैंने बोला कि जाओ किराने के दुकान से आलू लेके आओ, तो अब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? आपको कैसे जाना है? You will be taking the front, like right foot first, then the left foot. I'm not asking about that, but you just need to tell me that okay, I will go to the kirana shop. I will just ask the shopkeeper to fill 1 kg aloo in my thela, and I'll just take it back home. That is what I am asking. You just right now you've been to the kirana wala. Next thing, what will you? You made a request to the next. अरे सोचो यार, डिस्कस करो, unmute yourself guys, discuss among yourself, think about that. I'm gone, I'm dead, just discuss within yourself. बताओ, plan it
So
out.
fetch may normally is a returns a promise or something, right? Like if it gets like
I'm
if you
not
go to
like,
that
as I was,
no, no,
no no
return में जो नहीं नहीं
हाँ,
I'm just thinking out aloud like you were doing like
okay.
return JSON make response JSON if I was what was the return statement right in your
Right.
API. So that we have to fetch, correct?
Okay.
So we
Next.
just say that if it is something if it is working fine dot then we get the JSON data and whatever we do all that no, we get again a promise then we get do again dot then and then we get the
No,
data.
no, see ma'am, I'm not asking you to get into the
Fetch thing, okay.
touch thing, but ऊपर से like think about that कि मुझे समझ नहीं आता है, मैं थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे मैं जानना चाहता हूँ how that is working. ऊपर से like as I was saying now, you just you're just walking till the kirana wala, and now I'm not asking कौन सा पैर पहले डालना है, like if you would take your right foot first or the left foot first. I'm not worried about that. Just give me a brief. आपने रिक्वेस्ट किया, आपको जेसन मिला, then what? आपने, मैं तो यहाँ तक बोल रहा हूँ, किराने वाले के पास पहुंच के थैले में आलू भर लिए, अब आलू को लेके आना है. How will you bring that?
If we show something, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's the most simplest answer one could give. Like that simple. After I say that, you say what? Are you making a joke or something? See, okay, let's not wait anymore. It's already 10. Oh, it's already 12. Past 2. So what am I saying is, you got the JSON object. What will you do? You iterate to the JSON object. You find the correct key, that is message, and I somehow replace it in my, or I just somehow place it in my fields. That is what I was asking. मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, रिक्वेस्ट मेरे को जेसन ऑब्जेक्ट देगा, जेसन ऑब्जेक्ट से मैं मैसेज उठा के इस पेज में डाल दूंगा.
Okay, okay, got it.
I was not asking for deeper knowledge. No. Now let's see how can that be done. As I was saying, as you were saying, like promise and all. Okay, we'll be doing that. But how? How what? In day 4, I'll go to front end. Then SRC views this about you. I already have installed the Axios library, right? So what am I going to do? Script. Okay, export default came in. Now, what I can do is, see again, how to use Axios is very vast. I cannot cover everything up, but I am just giving you an idea that either you can make a base location, like for example, in security, what did I do for security? If you remember, there was security py file that was in a base location. In here, I have imported the um, hashing method and all, hashing library, and how that is being done, implemented, and I have made a what predefined user-defined method, and that's being used in multiple places. Okay. In a similar idea, Axios could be configured or could be initialized at a base location, and that could be used in multiple smaller or in multiple locations, right? That could be done. I am not doing that, but you can do it. And again, it's not a requirement that yes, you really have to do it, but yeah, you can just putting it out of the space in the space. Yeah, ऐसे भी हो सकता है. So what am I doing? I'm importing Axios from Axios, right? Next thing in here. Oh, okay. चलो कोई बात नहीं. So what am I saying? I gave the name to a page, right? Next thing, there are two more things that could be done. That is data. For example, this is info, right? Info is set to null. So what could be done is in here, I can say that this dot info. So what it would do, it would just go ahead and check for the variable. Okay, refresh it. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. I refresh it. It says nothing because it is set as null. For example, I say a string. So I see something out popping out on my. Okay. So that is how one variable could be used, right? I return it back to the null value. Next thing, okay, आज नहीं हो पाएगा. Dashboard is not possible, and CRUD operation is also not possible. But I try to cover login. Login भी नहीं हो पाएगा. Okay, anyways, let's keep it for tomorrow. Oh, okay, we are meeting tomorrow again. If you guys are free again. Data कहाँ से खत्म हो रहा है? यहाँ पे. Okay. Next thing is, we have seen data. There is something more as okay, how can I fill it? For example, an input field. Just to showcase everything. Okay. So what am I saying? यहाँ पे कुछ तो लिखा हुआ है. Okay. I say something is coming up, right? I'm not spreading hate speech, sorry. So anything could be written. For example, today is Thursday. So what is happening? So whenever I write something on my in my input tag, that is getting populated dynamically to this variable, and that variable is being printed out in the h1 tag. Okay, that you get, and it's coming this down. Input field gone. Okay. Now what am I saying is, okay. So you've seen how the data is working, right? Next thing, let's have a button. Okay. Button. Type is set as button. Okay. Okay. If I give it a try, nothing is happening as of now. Okay. Let's do something else. Hey, why are you not working? Okay.
It's showing V on click.
We on. Na?
And then column.
Mhm. And let me give it a try. Mm, yes, it's deprecated,
I
but it
think
could
keyboard
still
side.
work. Hmm? That is working. So you can use any. You can use a @ symbol or V on. So what is happening? How to make that button interactive? Okay, the button is there, still it's there. But what if I want to do something with that button click? So how that would work is, what am I saying? There are multiple actions that could be done. For example, if you check out V on, there are multiple things. For example, what did I do? Is V on click. What it does, whenever I click on that button, an action is being triggered. That is console log. What is console log? Is you find a console in the inspect window, and it's like a print statement from Python. Okay, it prints down a string or anything. Multiple things could be printed around the console. Now, what I want to showcase is V on has multiple things, multiple. Like it's the list goes on and on. Okay, it's not showing, but if we go with @, you can see multiple things. V on @, you can like mouse down, mouse enter, mouse leave. When like if you are on a button and if the mouse leaves, then something happens. For example, let's see. It also console log, console dot log. Okay. So I got something. I just refresh the page and I lower the window. And if I click on it, yep, kuch to hua. If I move on, okay, that won't be working. Let's see. Try it. Move out. I guess it don't work with button. It worked. So whenever I like see, this is not a mouse pointer, right? This is a tap kind of a thing. So whenever that was a mouse pointer, so what it was, or how did it work? I clicked on it for multiple times, right? And now whenever I am moving out from its boundary, it's like printing out something. It's again triggering something. So like as of now, you are just like not even on the footstep. You're like think of an huge bungalow, okay, and you are like seeing it from a very far distance, and you can compare the bungalow to be the world of web development. It's like huge on a different level. You cannot imagine what all things have been done and how many ways you are getting tracked every single day. See, even I only showed you. Like if I take the mouse pointer out, something is happening. Just imagine. Just think of the Instagram reels. If you are on Instagram, if you scroll on reels, you cannot just imagine how many ways it is learning about you. You do not do a thing. You do not like a reel. You do not comment. You do not do any interaction with it. But the time frame you are staying back on the reel. For example, you are seeing a single reel multiple times. Then there could be a situation. You just saw the first view and you were gone. That will be one more. So this is how multiple things have been tracked about you. Okay. Someone gone. चलो भाई कौन क्या बोला? We are being watched. Yeah. Right now I just say one something that it shouldn't go in an official recording. but I really want to say it. So you cannot imagine how well they are watching you. And from like okay, forget about that. Let's go back. So here we right. So try it. Now let's see what it can do. Or else how much time is left? 5 minutes, right? Okay. I thought of a great uh stopping point. So let me have this. Comment this down. Let me have one more button. Button. Let me set as button. Okay. Let's just get the message. Right. Now what is going to happen? If I click on this, the message will be populated over here. Mm. Now how the population could work for that. After data, I can have methods. Okay. Methods. Methods. I can define a method in here. So fetch the message. So what is happening? As of now, today I won't be stitching up back and front end. Okay. I will make it simple. So what is happening? Whenever we click, like whenever this method is getting triggered, in that case, this dot info will be populated. It's populated. Populated with what? With this message. But as of now, I am keeping it static just to showcase that okay, there are methods in front end to data and other stuff. I'm just using it. Okay. Now what will I do is I'll add click. So whenever the button is getting clicked, it triggers the method that is this dot fetch the message. Okay. Save it, refresh it. I click on this and it came. Okay. This is how method could work. For example, there is something more. For example, something like you can pass what is that called? Parameters through the method. For example, I'm passing one. Okay. I can do something like if I need to define it, right? Type state if state equals to 1. In that case, what will I do? I will do something. How that changes. I click on get message, it prints something else. If I change it again, this could be again be dynamic, right? So see, here, then there is an input field.
So in the exam, like in our case, like when we are we can utilize the same HTML content that we have given in our MAD1 project pages, HTML pages,
Yeah, you can change it up. Yeah.
and then we can whatever whatever reactivity we have to add, that we can do handle it in the script tag, right, of that
You can
particular
do.
page.
Yeah. If I write, okay, I didn't do it. This thought state clear shell. This is one. And if I change it to anything else, okay. This is how it is working. This is how it is not working. What the heck? Okay. So this is not working because it checks for a integer. What's the method? Anyways, I forgot. Let's keep it simple. Three edges. I remove this with one edge and get this. Okay. So this is how it are the components that I covered today. So I'm stopping right today over here, and tomorrow we are meeting again. The thing that I left was stitching both backend and front end. For that, I'll start off with login page, and it will be again a simple form from this logic, so it will be easier to grasp quickly. And next thing would be using the same logic. Okay, haven't seen redirect, right? We'll be seeing redirect too. Today I'm not doing it, not adding it, but tomorrow you'll be seeing the redirect. And finally, again, the similar logic as in the login form, we'll be seeing the form for CRUD operation, right? And finally, we'll be seeing how to create a very simple dashboard.
So basically we'll have 2 more days of the bootcamp session, right?
I won't be like planning to finish off by tomorrow. Now it depends on you guys. Do you want to break it up into two or else?
No,
And
I didn't get you. What?
see, so the thing is left for front end is not much, right? I have shown most of the things, right? And I will be reusing the things to finish off the part that is left. That is why I was like going slow and talking about the smaller details, be it the method, be it the path parameter, be it anything. I'll be reusing it the next day to
Okay,
for the
okay.
left topics.
So tomorrow we
And
will be stitching up the front end and back end,
yeah,
and
and
then
we'll finishing it off.
but there will be one more session for back end jobs, right? Like all that whatever
So I was
celery, Redis.
thinking to merge it to tomorrow only. If you want, what I can do, I can make it after this.
So don't merge it with tomorrow's class, please. If it's fine.
Last week?
Am I audible?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that please don't merge that last class with tomorrow's because it's already a little too much to take in. So
Okay.
if it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Even I feel that way. I don't know about the others.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, same.
Okay, we can do that. We can go for 15. But again, 15 is on deadline. So that's why I was thinking like if I was finish it off like
So, but the thing is, a Saturday morning we have a session, so Saturday morning won't be possible. So next the third session I don't know when it will be possible. Sunday will be possible.
Which session? Saturday morning.
Saturday mornings or instructor session is there.
What time?
9 to 11. The past 2 weeks they weren't holding, but this time they've said that they are going to keep it on Saturday.
Okay. Are you guys free in the evening? Like, what if tomorrow we meet around 10 and we stay back? We won't be staying back for 2.5 hours or something, but we'll be staying back until and unless the front end and back end switching is done. Right? After that, we can take a
Tomorrow is
break.
not a problem. So tomorrow is not a problem.
No,
Day
no,
after tomorrow
listen to
morning is a
this.
problem.
Listen to this.
Uh-huh.
Listen to this. I know that day after tomorrow won't be possible. But here's the thing: day after tomorrow, like I do not want to keep it till the most end of the deadline. So what am I thinking? Tomorrow morning, we meet at 10. Right? We stay back till the stitching is done, and after that, we take a break. We are done with with our lunch. Then we can meet again. That way, your GAs won't be hampered. Even if someone is working on the Saturday, that won't be getting hampered. And even we will be staying back with an hour. Right?
It
But
works,
again, the time doesn't matter.
but
But if,
timing,
Yes, a timing. Yeah.
what
like for
timing?
example, if I go from 10 and 1.5 hours, if that is required, so we'll be finishing off by what 11:30, and if we meet again by 2 or something.
So 4.
Yes, sir, 4.
No,
If
not
possible.
I'm okay with 4. I'm okay with 4.
what about 3?
Sir, two is okay.
Please focus on. Acha, if you guys want to have a sleep, then sleep for 1 hour. Let's meet by 3. I forgot to stop the recording. Fuck. कोई बात नहीं. चलो, nothing to be shared.